My name is Haley Hubbard. I'm an alumnus of the Masters of Business Analytics program in the Haslam College of Business at the University of Tennessee. The Capstone experience was my favorite part of the entire program. It required the most time of any course that I had and was very stressful, but it was the opportunity for me to apply the things I was learning in class to a real-world solution and get immediate feedback from the client and hear how they're incorporating what we're learning and what we're presenting to them. This was an opportunity to practice something that I would have to do in the real world, that I would have to do for clients in the future.
My name's Ben Martin. I'm the Chief Analytics Officer and the Chief Global Planning Officer for HanesBrands. We've sponsored 7 Capstone Projects with UT's MSBA program. These projects range from work with our sales and marketing group to supply chain, taking a look at the impact of particular promotional activities on brand switching. We've also done work around price elasticity, markdown optimization. We've done work in logistics optimization. There's a breadth of work that we've worked on across functional areas and a very different breadth in terms of the analytical approaches required to solve these types of problems. Every one of them has resulted in something that we could use. It takes a very broad set of skills to be able to work in each one of those individual areas. So it's been impressive to Hanes that the students are able to come in and tackle those types of problems. Our project predictions of potential stockouts or potential service issues on individual SKUs. We started with a small subset of the business. I shouldn't say small, it's the men's underwear division, which is several $1 billion in sales. UT built the model from scratch, a predictive model, and shared the results with us. And thereafter, we've taken that model and we've scaled it to the entire business. It was a very novel approach to solving that type of problem. It was purely predictive based upon the conditions of the environment of the supply chain itself. One of the things that we've been impressed with about the University of Tennessee's MSBA program is the knowledge and experience that the faculty are able to impart upon the students. When we work with the UT faculty and the students are in there doing the work, they're driving at it very tenaciously and delivering upon the objectives and results and the analysis that we're asking to be done. But what we see as somewhat of a differentiator with UT is that the faculty in the background is asking many of the questions that we would be asking as a business audience. So they're going in and saying, hey, have you thought about this? Really going in and testing the student's thought process, the student's approach to it.
The Capstone Project is an opportunity for students to use the skills they're getting in the Business Analytics program and apply them to a real-world problem. For my Capstone project, when I was a student, I worked for Bush Brothers, and we did a project basically focused on their bean sales. And there were a lot of things involved with that project, but for the Capstone experience itself, there are some big things that I learned as a project manager. We had to come together and learn how to work as a team, and we had a massive task in front of us. We got the data from the client, we had to work on cleaning it, and then trying to go to our toolkit and figure out, okay, we've learned all these different models, which is the right one in this situation. Every 2 weeks we would have a meeting, and we would present where we are at that point to get their feedback so that they can say, you're going down a rabbit hole here, this is not important, this thing is really important. And then we had milestones through the project that we had to meet, and working towards those milestones was important because you can easily get derailed if you aren't kept on track, and making sure that you are delivering something at the end of the day that's going to be valuable to the client. The Capstone Project, I can't stress enough how important it is, because you gain maturity through that project that allows you to transition from being a student to being an active participant in the business world. And the Capstone Project is that transition. If you don't have that experience, it's a rude awakening transitioning once you get out into the real world. So this is a softer landing, I think, for students to understand that this is how you work with someone in the business world that you wouldn't get in a university. You have to get out of the university to get that experience.
Unless you have the ability to credibly communicate the results of your analytic efforts, all their work is for naught. Having a set of skills that allows you to go in and take a highly technical piece of work and analysis and translate it to a non-technical audience is very, very important. The UT guys are preparing the student to understand their audience in terms of what they present and how they present, so that they end up getting adoption of their work. Because without the adoption, then there's no reason to have done the analytics to begin with.
As part of Brunswick's continuous improvement mindset, we're focusing on optimizing our supply chain. UT was a perfect partner in this, in that the students have a background in both analytics, business, and specifically supply chain. We chose UT for three main reasons: the quality of the faculty, well-rounded students that have a background in both business and analytics, and the university's track record of working with top companies like Brunswick.
Regal's been fortunate enough to work with UT on multiple capstone projects. The most impactful, my favorite, was the first one we worked on, where we studied Regal's loyalty program, the Regal Crown Club, and we looked at the behavior of Crown Club members and tried to understand what we could do segmentation-wise to better serve them and create a better customer experience for them.
The last capstone we had 35 or 40 people in the room, which includes CEO, chairman of the board, co-founders, analytics people, merchants, senior VPs, and so there was a lot of give and take questions to the students, and the students did a great job.